make sure you grab different color spray paints, different size thread edges, and everyday household items like cups or lids. My name is Arturo Lopez, and I created Spraycasso Studios back in 1999. I have then continued to show people diverse ways of creating master paintings in just a few minutes using nothing more than just spray paints and everyday household items. The beauty of this art is that you don't have to have a steady hand or know how to draw. All it requires is a little bit of imagination and some dedication. So join us, and you too can become a Spraycasso master. I will walk you through diverse techniques of creating beginner level paintings, intermediate level paintings and techniques, advanced level paintings, and we'll take your skills even further to master level paintings. So if you guys are ready to embark into a new art adventure, then grab your spray paints and materials. Let's get started.
Your faith will return just as sure as the sun will rise.
Hi everyone. Alright, I hope you guys liked that, and here's the instructions for that tutorial. I wanted to do something a little bit different. So as you guys can tell, I already started with the colors, just added some pretty groovy colors there, right? Spray painted my hand. I put a little puddle of white on my fingertips and then just kind of spread that around. You can use the star technique, but the star technique works really well for galaxies and not for this type of effect that we're looking for here on these mushrooms. Okay, before I get the email where I got the stencils for the mushrooms, I drew them, guys. As you can tell, they're not very hard to draw. Just draw the outer shape of the cap and cut it out. Use stock board paper, something really thick. Alright, so now that we have our cutouts, just make sure that your painting is dry, guys. You don't know how many times I've done this and how many horror stories I've got from this, so make sure that it's dry. I actually walked away from the painting after I was done painting it. Put down my layers and then I walked away for a little bit. Watch it show, do something. Come back, make sure that it's dry. Put your stencils on top of that and then start covering them up just like you would with the planets. Alright, just a few sprays here. Now I wanted to do something different. We've done many things together. We've done planets, we've done animals, people. I don't think we've ever done mushrooms, so I thought it'd be something that you guys might be interested in. This is just a beginner level, just to kind of introduce you guys to it. If you guys like it, we can go into more detail, do some more sophisticated mushroom paintings, maybe add a little bit more colors to them. Here I'm just using the light effect, right? So we have the light source, which is yellow, and it transitions into red. Now we're just going to use some pretty groovy colors back here. We're going to use the blue, some reds, some greens, just randomly. It's kind of like the nebula effect. You guys remember that, right? It's another beginner level painting technique that we use on planets. And the whole idea of this is that we're going to cover some of these white areas underneath, right? We don't want the paper to show, so we're going to use some blues. And it's a really nice effect when you mix blue and green together, because it gives you this transition, like the green is turning into the blue, or vice versa. It gives the painting more of a mystical, magical touch to it. A little bit of black. Alright. Now, being that this is a beginner level painting, you could have done, you know, some more colors underneath, and then just kind of mix the stem of the mushrooms using the spray castle tool. But in this case, we're gonna keep it simple, right? So no colors underneath. We're just gonna mix the colors, which is the blue and the green and a little bit of that black together to make the stem. I went ahead and added a little bit of white on the top, just to give it more of a lighting effect, make it look more real. So it's so real that the moths are trying to land on it. All right. So far so good. Yes. Now you notice how I left this void in the stencil. Well, I want you to use bright colors there. I'm gonna go with yellow. As you can tell, it's very bright, very overpowering. Even the yellow from the sunlight is not completely yellow, right? Because we added a little bit of red. So we want it to stand out. You can use yellow and green together, or yellow, orange, and green together. In this case, yellow and black is going to look just as good. Right, this is clear coat. I am outside, so the painting is drying rather quickly. So a few layers of clear coat ought to help you out with that. Now grab your spray castle tool, and we're going to go ahead and remove very gently, guys. You guys don't want to mess this up. Oh, believe me, I've had my run-ins. Now, I've always said everything is fixable, and it is, and I stand by it. But you know, if you can avoid it, if you can avoid the headache, yeah, you know, be very careful when removing your stencils. Now, what I'm doing here is just very gently combining the black and the yellow. Now, you don't want to mix it to where it's just a solid gray. You want some of those yellow highlights to come out. So make sure you leave a little bit of that black in between your lines. See how I'm just kind of tapping, kind of like a scratching move. The best way, another tutorial that I could recommend for you to take a look at this is maybe the flower technique. That'll show you how I mix these colors together. Alright, and that gives us I don't know the proper term for it, but the bottom part of the mushroom. And it looks pretty good. It looks pretty realistic. Alright, and we're gonna do that to all of them. Now notice how on these mushrooms there's a little bit of a shadow on the bottom part. That's because I added a little bit of black right before I covered them up. And on the top, besides the white dots, you can see there's light on there. It's very easy to do, guys. Take a look at some of the beginner level tutorials that I've done for planets. Is same techniques. Alright, we're just gonna scratch this one here, and the smaller they get, it's gonna be a little bit tougher, but you know, don't worry too much on the detail on the smaller ones. Now the big ones, yeah, you want it to look pretty good. Alright, very easy, right? So just go ahead and draw some mushroom caps. Make sure you leave the bottom opened. Okay, there we go. And just gonna scratch back and forth. Alright, now if you're doing this indoors, you may not have to use as much clear coat as I do, but I'm gonna have to do another coat right here because we still got to work on the stems, right? So make sure it's nice and moist. Alright, and with the spray castle tool, here we go. You want to scratch and combine at the same time. So not quite a bark effect. So you are going to have some white areas, and you want that. Now remember, it's not a tree, so you don't want to go up and down of it too many times. Yeah, just like that. Look at that. It gives you like a natural highlights to it as well. Now we're going to do that to the big one here. Now the big one may have to take a few tries, you know, just to make the stem bigger. That. Now remember, if you add some colors underneath it, the stems won't be completely white, but that's for a more advanced tutorial later on. So there you have it, folks. You guys can now make mushrooms amongst everything else, including dolphins, dogs, planets, wolves. Heck, I think we even did a tutorial of Marilyn Monroe, right? Michael Jackson.